Chessmaster start with d4. The Indian defense begins by controlling the important d4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 build a strong center by controlling the important d5 square and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. c6 controls the d5 and b5 squares, prepares the d5 pawn push and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center and support the d4 pawn. d5 takes space in the center, attacks the c4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. This activates the knight by developing it off of its starting square. e6 supports the d5 pawn and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Bishop g5 ignores the attack on the c4 pawn and develops the bishop, pinning the knight on f6. The game up to this point follows the variant Semislav defense anti-Marin, anti-Moscow gambit. The opposing bishop is kicked by a pawn, and must now move or be captured. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. The game continue with the theory of this opening. That pawn was free for the taking. The position is equal. Putting pressure on a pen piece is an important tactical theme, and now white can win material by doing that. This kicks an opposing bishop. Chessmaster moves the bishop to safety. Leela defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Chessmaster activates a bishop by developing it off of its starting square. Leela develops a bishop off its starting square, getting it into the action. h4 is the best move for Chessmaster. The position is equal. Leela kicked the knight with her pawn, which must move or be captured. Leela is playing aggressively. This exposes an attack, threatening a pawn. The position remains equal and becomes more complicated. Leela offers to exchange pieces. Leela also offers to capture the g-pawn, but with a lot of subsequent counterplay. Chessmaster maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Leela takes back with her queen. A possible continuation would be the following. Continuing with the game. Chessmaster wins time by threatening the knight and forcing it to move away. The game should continue according to the previous analysis. But Leela had other options to follow. This defends the attack knight, although queen d8 was the best. Chessmaster should continue with queen c1. However, in this complicated position Chessmaster finds the best move, but it limits the action of its queen. A possible continuation would be the following. With a slightly better position for white. Leela connects the rooks, which helps them coordinate together in the future. A possible continuation for Chessmaster is maintaining a slight advantage in his position. Chessmaster misses a much better move. Bishop h3, it's the best move. Leela threatens to win the d-pawn. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win material. With a passed pawn, Black's position is better now. Chessmaster continued with bishop take g7. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Leela recaptures. Chessmaster makes an inaccuracy. b3, it's something much better. Leela kicks the knight, which should be moved to e2. The knight now defends the d-pawn. Leela strikes at the center with a pawn, fighting for space. A very strong play. Queen d2, it was better, activating the queen. A possible continuation is, and Black's position is better. The game continues. Leela's position is better and with a slight advantage. Leela played. This reveals an attack to white queen. The white queen getting it into the action. Now white cannot stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. If continued with, Chessmaster played. Chessmaster commits an inaccuracy again, and ignores an opportunity to castle on the opposite side of the black. Allows Leela to win a tempo by threatening a queen. And Leela increases her advantage in the game. The best alternative for Chessmaster was castling to the opposite side of black castle. The game will tend to be more double-edged. Leela wins a tempo and forced to queen move away. A possible continuation of Chessmaster and having the possibility of improving its position would be. The game continued with, Chessmaster defends a vulnerable queen by pinning the black knight. Queen f5 was the best in this position, pinning the knight. Leela play kb8 anticipating the pinning. Rook hg8 is best, activating the rook. And the black position is better. Eliminating the knight. Takes back. Activating the rook. A fine move by Leela. It is a mistake. The white king can no longer castle to safety. And after of queen c5 rook g3, Leela is winning. Rook c2 is better. Right on target. Now black cannot stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. It is a great move. Leela threatens to win a pawn through a fork. A possible variant is, back to critical position. Chessmaster take the pawn. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by opposing pawns as it tries to promote. Chessmaster play imprecise again, better is rook b1. Leela finds the only good move. Very precise, but it is already a losing position for Chessmaster. Leela plays the strongest option. Leela plans to double the rooks. That is not a mistake, but it is no the best move either. Rook b2 is better. Leela doubles the rooks onto single file, which allows to create future threats. Right on target, but the knight is pinned. Excellent. This is the way to win the white queen. After the following moves, Leela has a winning position, with no counterplay option for white. Chessmaster resigned.